All right, and we're back in the building.
Hello.
Welcome everybody to Plunked. This is the show where we celebrate two teams from one city, the city of Chicago. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Emilio Bucks.
Now I'm your other host, Miss Kristen Stats.
Kristen Stats. What's going on, Kristen Stats?
Not much. Not much. Happy Friday Eve to everyone.
Happy Friday Eve. And my place of employment was nice enough to give us tomorrow off along with Monday.
Oh, 4-day weekend.
4-day weekend.
Nice. That was nice.
One of the few perks I get at work.
Nice. All
Occasional
right.
occasional day off.
And everybody else is at work and school, right?
Yeah, well the kids have a half a day tomorrow,
Oh,
so
so you
kind of
get
sort of.
okay.
Kind
Well,
of
you
get
get
half.
4 hours
Yeah, I
to
get a few
sleep
hours. That
it
is if I wake up
or
and do something for the
well,
first
I was
4 hours.
saying you got 4 hours to either to sleep more or something.
That's true. That's true. But I'm going to try to be productive,
Oh,
got some stuff to work on, so hopefully I'm productive with this with the little extra time that I have tomorrow.
congratulations to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well,
Well,
let's jump right to it.
baseball.
Baseball, the Shy Sox
Woo.
are now
31 and
uh
104.
say 34.
31 and 104.
31 and
In the
104. Of course, they
104.
haven't won 34 games.
Well, remember, I thought they won 37 the other day.
Yeah, that was you were way off on that one. I don't see them getting to 37 games on the season, unfortunately. So we have a total of 35, so that's 22,
27.
27 games remaining. And yeah, it looks like they're going to do it. They're going to break the record
They need
because
to at least win 11 games to not break the record.
11 games out of 27, so they need to go like not quite 500, but about 400 or so,
Oh
and ain't happening.
my gosh. I can't believe they might actually do it.
Ain't happening. And yes, what's up, Deb? Our number one punkster. We got the Mets coming in, and the Mets have something to play for. I think
Yeah.
the Mets are, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 games, 5 games out of
Three.
that wild card spot.
I think they're 3
3
games.
games. Okay, even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, they're 3 games out of the last wild card spot. The Cubs are 2 behind them.
Okay, so it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, the Cubs
So
aren't making it, but the Mets, they need to sweep. They
yeah, yeah. Oh, you said the Mets need to sweep?
yeah, the Sox. It's
Oh
so
yeah, they will. I think that's no problem. I think the Mets. I predict a sweep by the Mets. The Mets was something to play for, and looking at the remainder of the schedule, everyone except we got Oakland, so we got the Mets, we got Baltimore, Boston, Cleveland, the A's, the Angels. We got 2 series with the Angels.
mm,
1 series with the A's. Those are the only 2 teams that, and Detroit at the end. We close the season with Detroit. We do have a lot of games coming up with teams that are playing for something with
okay.
the Mets, Baltimore, Boston, Cleveland through the next week and a half. So that's going to be
You guys
some
can play some
slaughter.
Oilers. Now the Mets, see, this is a great time because they're chasing the Braves. So the Braves have 4 games against Phillies. They've already lost one.
Got your broom ready, Deb.
So they've already, the Braves have already lost. That's a damn shame we're talking about other people's chances besides the Cubs and Sox. But the Braves have already lost 1 game to the Phillies. So they have 3 more. So, I mean, if the Phillies can sweep Atlanta, the Mets are in the tie for wild card, the last spot.
So you got to root for the Phillies, Deb.
Yep.
And so what do the Cubs need to get in?
They're 5 back. So
5
they
back.
need the Mets to be swept, and then they would jump ahead of the Mets.
The Mets to be swept by the Sox?
To make the jump quickly.
Yeah.
So they're 2 games behind the Mets. They're 5 behind Atlanta for the wild card. So they're not going to make it because everyone needs to fall apart.
Right. It doesn't matter how much they win. They need everybody to fall apart.
They need everybody to fall apart.
Which is not impossible.
Yeah, let's
this
see.
is baseball, but
the Atlanta is 2 behind San Diego, 1 behind Arizona for the first 2 wild card. And then the Cubs are 5 and Mets are 3. The Mets have a chance. Cubs, not so much. Because they don't even play any of them anymore. I mean, the Cubs are playing the Nationals next. So they have...
I mean, Cubs have been kind of doing their job. They swept Pittsburgh, which they needed to. They needed to sweep Miami. Should have gotten a sweep of them, but at least they took 2 or 3 from them. Took care of business against Pittsburgh. Now, who do you said they have the Nationals coming up?
So they have the Nationals, and they have Pittsburgh again, and then they have the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Wow. Okay, that's
that 6-game series is going to be rough. But then after that they play Colorado, Oakland, Washington again, and then they have Phillies, and then they finish against Cincinnati.
So still a sizable amount of baseball left to be played in the season. Still not enough for the Sox to win. What did they need to win? 11 more games?
Yeah. So that, because what is the record? 120, right?
Yeah.
So right. Yeah, they have 27 left. Yeah. So they only need to lose. They need to lose 16 to tie. If they lose 17, they have the record all to themselves.
Yeah.
So if they so the magic number 17 to have the record.
Yeah. That is tough.
Oh my God.
It is worse than it's ever been in Sox land, people. I've never felt so low as a Sox fan. My wife said she is leaving me, and the kids want to go with her because they don't want to be associated with someone who's a White Sox fan. And
that's how bad it is.
That's how bad it's gotten.
The family wants out.
The family wants out and away from me. They said you have the nerve to podcast about them. Yeah.
You take time away from your family to talk
about them. So they want out. And I don't blame them. I asked if I could go with them because I want away from me too. And they said no.
They said no because you have
to live with this.
Shirts, etc. I mean, they're not going to be bad forever.
I mean, sure, the law of averages, is that the law that says it's got to turn at some point?
I can't imagine that they're going to be close to breaking the record next year as well.
I'm going to say this, and it could be ridiculous, but like, there's nowhere to go but up from this season. Could they be worse next year? I mean, I can't imagine, but I mean, it's possible. You said this team's not worth it. Stick with your family, get a new one if you have to. I mean, I might have to get a new one, Commish.
This doesn't want.
They don't want me back.
It's yeah, this is rough. It's okay. You've heard like Bernstein mention fun bad. Is it fun bad yet? Or
It's I'm past that.
okay.
You know, the fun bad was the 20 something in losses in a row.
Mm.
That was fun bad because I kept watching, waiting to see them finally win a game. So that was kind of fun. You know, as fun as a fork to your eye, I guess. But and they finally won and immediately lost again the next day, and then that was the day Pedro was fired. So we're beyond fun bad. It's just bad, and I don't know if did you see the play when Linian Sosa got hit in the nose
Oh
with the
my gosh,
ball?
I was actually gonna
I mean, it
ask.
wasn't a play, but it
I'm
was
gonna. It's so the sock season.
it was very, very White Soxy.
Somebody's not paying attention and the ball hits him in the face.
Yeah,
Routine
that's perfect.
thing when yeah, I saw that I was like, whoa. Mm.
That's perfect.
And then okay, so you're looking at Grady Sizemore and he's trying to learn about coaching and things like that. This is really like an unmanageable, uncoachable team.
Group, correct.
Like
Like this is not a team you learn how to coach with.
mm, mm-mm.
Not at the major league level. If this
Mm,
was like single A or double A, maybe.
mm,
This is a double at best a double A team, I think.
mm, mm, mm.
And
And when
is this Australian breakdancer kind of bad? No,
I-
because that was funny bad. Well,
yeah,
I guess commission depends on who you're asking. You know, like for a lot of people, this is Australian breakdancer, but it is a comedy of errors. It is funny bad.
that
Um,
play, yes, was
that
Australian
play, yeah.
breakdancer kind of bad. But
But this isn't
well,
this isn't
they
that kind of bad for me.
they are working on being legendary like that Australian breakdancer. They'll be remembered. You know, even for a Cubs fan, it's like, whoa, wow. That's you laugh a little, but it's like laughing because you can't believe that it's actually happening.
Right. Because remember, Cubs fans, this is still Chicago. I
Right.
mean, it's still like Chicago is being laughed at.
Yeah. And then also Cubs fan, it's not as if your team's getting in the playoffs either. And when I say your, I mean they're my team.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
they're only 2 games over 500, and so you can't. Yeah, they're better than them, but I mean, it's not hard to be better than a 104 loss team.
Yeah.
It's just it's and then when you look at who's on the roster now, who's the guy you're looking forward to?
Nobody, because even Luis Robert has gone south. He's kind of given up. 0 for 4 today. He's a guy that you have to like push and motivate, and I don't think there's anything left. It was cute. They were wearing the Grady Sizemore t-shirts and all of that. Like, I don't know exactly what they were trying to accomplish with that. I guess they were just trying to
Do something new.
do something.
Maybe they thought a new voice, but if you're still bad, it doesn't matter if it's a new or an old voice.
Yeah, it's this team is on paper worse than it was at the beginning of the season because
Mm.
after the trade line, we traded off almost everything of value. Um,
That makes me think of the guy. What's his name? That
Vargas.
looks so depressed. They need to keep an eye on him. I mean, that
We
man.
are 45 and a half games back.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
how do you even do that?
Is that ever even possible?
Like, how?
Hmm.
Like, it's like you can't even do this on purpose.
No. And they are far and away the worst team. I mean, there's some bad teams in the league.
Colorado is 30 games back,
Yeah,
370 percentage.
baseball's pretty. There's some bad teams. There's some bad teams. But man,
The Miami Marlins have a 366 win percentage. There are some bad teams, but nobody worse than the
I
Sox.
mean,
I
they're
mean, the Sox are a full 136 percentage points worse than the next worst team.
they
So they'd
are.
have to like go on a run, quite a run, to not be the worst team in the league.
They are more games back than they've won.
Yeah. Yes. More games back than they that puts it in perspective. 45 and a half back, and they've only won 31 games.
And their winning percentage is 23%. How are you that bad? How are you that bad?
Yeah, I mean,
What? I know they're paid well, but what is it like to put to? You can't feel good.
nobody should feel good in that building.
I'm making it worse. I was just looking at everyone, even the bad teams, they're 16 and a half back, 13 back, and then 15. Miami's 30 back, but they still have won the 49 games.
Yeah. I mean,
Colorado's 30 back. They've won 50, but they're 45 and a half back and lost and only won 31.
yeah.
How is that?
With a run differential of negative 283.
This is
Holy
this is awful.
moly.
If you were to, boy, now the analytical people have a field day. These
This
stats, awful.
this is a new level of bad that, well, it goes without saying, we've literally never witnessed before. Not in our lifetime. We've never witnessed this before. And I've sat through some stinker teams. We both have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they're so far. Okay. So hits, they're second to last. Runs last. RBIs last. Home runs last. Average second to last.
runs per game last.
Doubles, they're 23rd. Triples last. Wow. Base on ball, second to last. They don't strike out that much. On base percentage, last. Slugging, last. Man. Mm, mm,
Second to last, giving up runs per game at 5.2.
mm, mm, mm.
There's a lot of red L's next to looking at the Sox schedule. Lots of red L's, not a lot of green W's here. It's bloody. And I don't understand how you could even allow Chris Getz back into the building. I mean, whatever kind of snake shit he did to even get the job and threw Kenny and Rick under the bus to get them fired, and they deserve to be fired, but not
Think
to be replaced by a guy who was partially responsible,
that's what I was about to say.
a guy who was, I dare I say, largely responsible
Yeah.
for the condition of the team. Why you would give him the job?
He was in charge of the development of these players
That
that
we
don't
didn't
even come
develop.
up. You didn't even have a good mm, uh so yes, Kenny, they deserve, they needed to be, but it was time to go outside of the organization.
And it's
It
still
was,
time.
yeah, it was at that point. If you wanted just someone to, because you felt as though you had to do it, I forgot even, I don't even remember when they did it. Was it the end of the year or whatever? I can't even remember.
Somewhere. It was during the
Close to
year.
during the year, which was unnecessary. It wasn't like that was going to give you a spark.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you did it, and if you had someone as the interim, but it was time. You know, you're not a winning organization. You're not a winning developmental organization.
You
And I
don't
say
have
the
a
same thing about
history
the,
of
yeah,
winning. You
yeah,
don't have a culture of
no,
winning nor
no,
developing.
exactly.
There was nothing that was working to
Mm-mm.
build off of. It all needed to be torn
Yep.
down, and they did not tear it down.
And they're still not going to.
And they're still not going to.
Because unless you have some, I know we all want a different manager, but unless you have some difference makers on the way, do you just bring back Grady Sizemore?
Who wants this job?
Except someone else like Pedro who hasn't won. Like, why did they even choose him? Why would you choose a coach from a losing, or at the time the Royals were losers?
That's what the Sox do. They say, "Who's losing?" Yeah, he's what the hell does he know about winning games?
Yeah, he was part of a losing culture.
And as soon as he left, the Royals have started winning games. They are now one back of Cleveland.
Oh wow, they sure are. Wow. They are, yep, they're 2.5 out of the last wild card. Oh no, sorry.
They can win the division.
Huh. What does that say? I'm sorry, they're not 2.5. They're in the wild card. I was like, why does that say plus? Yeah, so them and Minnesota, they're in the wild card. Boston's 3.5 out. So he leaves. They get it together. It's just like Craig Counsell, isn't it?
Just like Craig Counsell, kind of.
We get a coach, and
That's interesting. Very interesting.
I think it's us.
Hmm.
Common denominator are Chicago
The
teams.
Chicago team, Chicago ownership.
Hmm.
Makes you say,
But yeah, the whole Pedro Grafal, when there were other people.
And then we go further back, the whole Tony
I
La
was just
Russa
about
when
to
they were
say,
when it was an attractive job.
for that, you could have just kept Ricky Renteria here.
You could have just kept Rick because he's the one who got them where they were. So like you might as well just let him figure it out.
You could have just let Tony be a consultant. If you just had to
If
have
you
him,
had to have Tony, that is, I
if
guess,
you wanted to right or wrong or whatever. But and then okay, you failed miserably with that experiment.
miserable.
And I think you were a year late in even making that move, right? Unless I have my timeline wrong.
Yeah, you're about a year
Twice.
late in making that move. Yeah.
They keep him twice. They keep him 2 years.
Yeah. And he
Okay,
didn't finish the second year.
okay. He shouldn't even gotten the second
He
year.
should
When you
not have
saw,
gotten the second
you
year. Shouldn't have gotten the
saw,
first year, but he definitely
yeah,
shouldn't have gotten the second year.
right. But once you saw the first year was like, yeah, this isn't good. Where this window is closing so quickly. Hey, Tony, why don't you say, I appreciated my moment. I'm going to pass the torch. He should have been the first Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Pass that torch.
Too many of the games are past my bedtime.
Right.
Including the day games.
And why
he was falling asleep at.
Why he wasn't like, yeah, we need to go ahead and end this after the first year because you're falling asleep. So okay, you screw up and give him a second year. You then choose Pedro.
Why? A losing coach from a losing team. That's who you pick. Rick Hahn finally got his pick. And that's who he picked.
then we're
from
like,
the Kansas City Royals, not the Dodgers, not Tampa.
You didn't plug
not the Yankees or
Minnesota,
Houston.
Cleveland.
A litany of teams.
Even the Cardinals are known for a winning culture.
The Cardinals are known for a winning culture.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
Cardinals, Atlanta, Phillies.
You pick
You pick the Kansas City Royals, who were bad. And then you kept them. Then you just kept bringing them back. And now.
This team was a contender 3 years ago. And now you look at what's left. Starting at home plate, Yasmani Grandal, a part-time catcher for Pittsburgh, hitting like 220 or something. Jose Abreu out of baseball. Nick Madrigal traded to the Cubs, now in AAA with the Cubs.
He was injured. I don't know if he got injured, broke a hand or something.
Tim Anderson out of baseball. Johan Moncada may as well be out of baseball. Has not played since May.
What is he rehabbing right now?
Just started a rehab assignment.
Like, why bother?
Why bother? Probably will never play for the Sox again because I think this is contract year or something.
Man, he could never stay healthy.
No. Luis Robert, health issues. Showed a lot of promise last year, all-star. And just looks like shit this year. Eloy, a Silver Slugger winner, just now with Baltimore. He's hit a few singles, no home runs since he's left. Just what happened to all that power?
Maybe he lost it because of all his leg injuries.
Yeah, perhaps.
Who was you may have already named it. Who was the right fielder during all that time?
Well, that was a problem. They never really had a right fielder. They had Andrew Vaughn in right field. They played Gavin Sheets in right field. Then they had AJ Pollock in right field. And then whoever the hell else I don't even know. They never really got a good right fielder, one who was hitting. You know, when your power is usually, your outfielders, first baseman, maybe your third baseman. Never had a real consistent bat coming out of right field.
All the corners are usually your power people.
Yeah. And no. Andrew Vaughn, no.
Dylan Cease gone. Who were all the pitchers then?
Lance Lynn gone. I don't know what the deal is with Rodon. Was with the Yankees. Think his
Oh, is he
injuries
hurt?
returned.
Yeah.
Um, Lucas Giolito have
He
not
got
kept track.
hurt.
He
He,
got hurt
I think he had like a season-ending injury.
at the very beginning of the season,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like it wasn't like there's even like these players that went on besides Dylan Cease
Mm-hmm.
to go on and be good elsewhere. They
Right.
just fell apart elsewhere too, pretty much.
And that's another Chicago trend. Like all this greatness, great, and I say greatness like fun, hitting well, saw that, thought that there was some more greatness coming their way, and they leave here or things go bad, and woof, it was
Not
only
great.
here. Yeah. It's like, what's
Not
that
great.
all about?
These were not great players, and we thought that they were.
And there's been a lot of injuries for a lot of them. That's been a problem.
Yeah.
Uh
Injuries, guys just not living up to potential,
yeah,
bad coaching,
yeah. I think for the one,
unwillingness to spend on real free age, like
yeah, yeah,
impactful free agents,
yeah.
unwillingness to spend.
And when are the sock now with the rebuilding? They don't even have they don't even have the pieces to trade to get more.
Because none of their guys in the farm system are even like, there's nothing like in the pipeline that's like ready for
Not
next
here.
year that's gonna be like, oh yeah, we'll wait till this guy comes up in September or and then next year. Like we are easily 2-3 years away from anything much good coming out of the farm system.
Mm,
We're like this isn't. It's not even fair to call this a rebuild yet. We haven't even gotten to that point
no,
yet.
that's true. They're just
This isn't even a rebuild yet. This is just pathetic. Just
mm.
outright pathetic. Sell the team, Jerry, please. Both of them.
Mm. They have the third ranked farm system, according to Fangraphs.
Well, we'll see how much good that does them.
Yeah, third ranked, but how many are in single and double A?
Single and double A, like years out.
And how many of their hitters are they feasting off of bad pitching?
Bad farm system
Yes,
pitching. You know,
which
like the pitching, the between AAA and the majors is night and day. The
mhm.
pitching, like
Because if you're really a good pitcher, you've already been brought up.
you're already brought up.
Yeah,
There,
because
you're in somebody's bullpen.
yes,
If you're decent, you're in
yeah,
somebody's bullpen.
because no one wants to risk injury and lose those good years of that arm wasting away.
Waste away in the farm system.
Nope. So you're not facing. You might be facing some future bullpen arms. And I also know that there are some players who get it together because they learn a pitch or they stop a pitch and something like that. But overall, if they're really good at pitching, they're here.
Yeah, yeah.
And which is why I always, and we see some good results now with Amaya and Armstrong or PCA learning off of real pitching.
Real pitching, and you see those guys finally starting to hit, but
Mhm.
it took them all year,
Yeah,
pretty
I
much.
mean, yeah, they were bad,
Yeah,
and it that them being bad probably is it's a very big reason why the Cubs aren't probably going to go to the playoffs because their offense was so bad. Because once you got past certain people, it was just trash.
Yeah, that
Like,
that 6 through 9
yeah,
spot was
rough.
horrendous for a
Yeah.
while, and whether it was Amaya or Jan Gomes in there, it was horrific,
Yeah.
and
And so now they're getting better, and then Swanson's hitting better, and Suzuki's been your best, most consistent hitter all year. And then the next one is probably Cody, and then you have off and on with everybody else. But right now, your hot hitters are Amaya. Hell, even Betancourt drove in 7 runs.
Betancourt, yeah, he was killing it
Yeah,
yesterday.
so like that's
Spearheaded that comeback win
yes,
yesterday.
that I had turned away from. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
okay,
you did? Yeah,
I
I had it on at work and just was in and out, and I'm like, oh wow, it was 10-3. I'm like, damn, it's 10-7. I'm like,
And so
oh.
when I was talking to my father, it was 14-10. I said, who? And he said the Cubs. I was like, oh, I'm not going to turn it back on because they did all that when I turned it off.
Yeah,
So
they
I was
turned
like,
it on for
I'm going to leave
sure.
them
That was
alone.
a hell of a comeback.
Yeah, it's one of those too little, too late type things. But the point of that is, I kept saying, and I felt the same way, even if the Sox have someone who's like ready to be promoted, maybe to AAA, just forget that. If you think they're going to be your future, bring them up here. Let them learn here. You're not going anywhere. Let them take their hits. Let them understand what a slump is going to be like in the majors. Let them hear your home fans being like, "Ooh, you're trash." Like, feel all
All
that
20
now.
of them.
But let the players feel that now, especially if you're not playing for anything. There's not that type of pressure, but they're learning. They're facing big league pitching. It's their. I just feel though that's better for them to. And I know you can't do that for every prospect, but if there's room for them, let them learn
You
here.
might as well let them play and sit these busters
Yeah.
down. Like, please, like, release Nicky Lopez. I can't take it anymore. Naperville's finest. Please get him out of here.
He's gonna be back next year.
He is just awful.
Besides Luis, okay, so do you trade Benintendi?
I don't know if you can trade him with that contract.
That's true.
You can try. And did we talk about how many years are left on his contract? I thought it was only a 2-year deal.
Is he one of the few people hitting home runs right now?
Oh God, they signed him to a 5-year deal. Jesus.
Woo! He's hitting 214.
Oh my God. And that's an improvement. That's an improvement. He signed a 5-year deal. He's the highest paid White Sox player in the history of the franchise.
What?
That's correct.
Wow. Yikes. That's another. How did people forget to hit so much? Like, why are there so many bad averages in the league?
Is it because pitching is that much better?
But is it?
I mean, that's all I can point a finger at,
I don't understand what they're swinging for because it's not like even their home runs are that good. It used to be like, oh, they're swinging the launch angle and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Remember the launch angle talk of the mid tens?
Oh, the launch angle. That was one of the big analytics type thing.
Yeah.
And then that's why it was okay to strike out and all that kind of stuff because of launch angle. It's also exit velo, hey, he's been out 18 times in a row, but he
is really killing the ball. But it gets caught every time.
Who cares?
He's
And
just
it wasn't
flying
a
out.
hard catch. All right. It wasn't like a spectacular play. It was right to the guy.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was 100 miles per hour off the bat. Well, what that means is when they land, okay, in the meantime,
It's just
but yeah,
another out.
it just seems like it's okay. And to me, that's just not okay that you're only getting a hit 21% of the time. That can't be. You can't be helping your team.
No.
And even on the Cubs, there's so many that are just 230s. There's so many 230s on that team. I mean, I love Christopher Morel, and he's hitting 198 or something, but he still gets to play. It's like the fact that we ignore that someone's only hitting the ball 19% of the time, 23%, 22%, and we celebrate because there's a couple of people hitting at 24%. That's
That's
considered a
bad.
good average.
That's bad. I mean, it's already bad enough that 30% is like
That's
amazing,
that's
like
batting
that's
title.
I mean, and that goes to show how hard it is to
Our
hit in
baseball is
baseball.
right.
How hard of a sport it is,
But I mean, you used to at least to be considered decent, you had to at least hit 250.
I was ready to say at least 260, but okay, fine, 250, but these guys aren't even hitting that.
I think okay, like if it was 250, you had to be hitting 40 home runs.
Yeah, you were a home run guy, and so you struck out a lot. So
Right.
it was okay, your average.
So that was okay. If you didn't hit a lot of home runs, you had to be like 270, 280.
Right, because if you don't hit home runs, you got to be a hitting
Yes.
for average guy.
Yes. But what's the Cubs guy, Shiambi? He was like, "Oh, they're the Cubs. One of their best hitters this year has been Ian Happ. He's hitting like 234. How? Where? One of your best?
But
Not moments.
with the eye test, I feel like he kind of is one of the best hitters with the eye test. Just from watching.
It depends what day you're saying it.
Yeah, I
Because if you
guess.
say it 2 weeks ago, he was like 0 for 20 or something crazy.
Right.
But then if you wait a week, and if you're in Pittsburgh or playing Pittsburgh, he's hot because he always plays well in Pittsburgh. And
He's
I'm
from
not
Pittsburgh,
saying
isn't he?
he might, yeah. I'm not saying he's the worst hitter, but when he named the best hitters, he named him, Seiya, which was correct. And he named maybe Bush.
I say Michael Bush.
And then he said someone else, but he never said Cody. And I was like, take out Hap. Hap has more home runs. So is that what he's taking it on? But I was like, I don't buy that one. But also, I also know that there are times he has an OPS, so I guess they're going by that. So I guess it also depends on what metrics you're looking at. If you're looking at on base plus slugging, okay, he is second at 811. Seiya's 843. There's absolutely no denying who your best hitter has been on this team.
Correct.
That's Seiya Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down, all year. And Michael Bush is up and down. Nico and Dansby, even though Dansby's been up now, but all year,
He struggled. He struggled early.
Yeah, I mean,
the majority of the year he struggled.
Yeah, Nico's is 675, Swanson's is 667. That's pretty terrible. And then you have Bellinger 745, Bush 772. That's bad.
Bush was like, I mean, I didn't realize he was even that good, but okay.
Well, it helps that he doesn't always play.
Right.
And he'll get a home run. See, that's what's helped Ian Happ so much because he has 20-something home runs.
Right.
And he will take a walk, but he strikes out a lot to me, unless it's just the eye test. I see him striking out a lot. Yeah, he's tied for first, 143. He and Michael Bush.
I was going to say it was Patrick. Well, Patrick Wilson does this not everyday play.
Right. But if he was, he would be, because he has 48 and he only has like 12 at bats.
Okay. Yeah.
So how he has 48 at 12 at bats, I don't know. That's
Wait,
how
12 at bats? That can't be right?
that's how much he strikes out. He gets like double the strikeout.
Right, he's like quadrupled.
Say has 127. Swanson has struck out a lot, 120. He does seem to strike out an awful lot. And then Bellinger 69, PCA 66. Boy, you know who's fallen out of favor is Mike Tauchman. Remember, they tried to, after he got injured, because at first they tried to play him like he was some sort of star.
Like he was Aaron Judge coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how about that Aaron Judge? I tell you, that's a baseball player right there.
Yeah. He is.
Deb, I know you don't like to hear that either.
Deb's team came back from the dead. Weren't they rough?
They were a sinking ship earlier in the year, and they picked it up. They got hot during the summer, and
Aaron Judge's OPS is 1.198. Juan Soto 1.011. And never mind. I'm not even gonna talk about them. Just the Cubs just always missing out on somebody.
yeah.
Not even
I would have threw the sink at Aaron Judge.
And even Juan Soto.
And
they could have traded for him.
Yeah.
There was ways to move people around.
Yeah.
So yeah, 330, and then Aaron Judge has a 333 average with 51 home runs.
I think Bobby Witt Jr. might be leading the majors in average.
Really? Let's see.
A big part of obviously a big part of Kansas City's little success this year.
344, Aaron Judge 333.
Okay.
Vladimir Jr. 324. Yordan Alvarez 313. Marcel Ozuna, boy, that's someone who came back from domestic violence. It's amazing how some people can come back and others they just
some people just can't.
Trey Turner, see, that was one of the good shortstops out of that shortstop class with Dansby and etc.
Right.
303. Jose Altuve, boy, he is still hanging on there.
Can't stand that little bastard.
Shohei's only hitting 295. Huh? I thought he'd be doing better. William Contreras, okay.
What's he hitting?
He's hitting 285. Wilson's brother. Home runs 51 and then 42, and then there's a drop 38, 37, 37. Shohei has 42 home runs. Aaron Judge leads in RBI with 123. Let's see, when can I get a Cub or a Sox?
Ooh.
Let's see, top 25. No. Bryce Harper only has 76. Ian Happ, number 31 at 74. And he's your top RBI person. That's sad. Manny Machado still driving in runs. Pete Alonso's at 74.
Manny Machado, he would have looked good in the Sox uniform.
And then what's his name had the nerve to say they weren't in on the Shohei. Why not?
Why would you even say that though? I mean, like
exactly.
I knew you weren't, but like, why would you even say like I'm not even trying?
You tell everyone you're about to throw the sink. You never have to worry about attendance ever, even if you ever.
Shohei would have never come to the Sox. You could have offered him
part of the team.
You could have offered him ownership in the team.
They had to offer him a piece of the team.
Yeah. He would have, if he was smart, he would have said no.
But Bobby Witt Jr. leads the league in hits, 184. Oh, yeah. I forget about Francisco. Mm, I forget about him.
Yeah.
Wow, man. I mean, I know that, man.
So at this point, the Cubs are still worth watching.
Yeah.
I believe they're still worth watching. They still have a shot, and I think they'll be worth watching probably most of the rest of the season. The Sox, you're just like watching this building burning, and you can't take your eyes off of it. But you want it to end because a lot of people are getting hurt. A lot of fans are ingesting a lot of smoke. We're just getting burned. There's a lot of third-degree burns happening.
Folks on the verge of losing families.
Losing my wife and kids.
It's almost at this point, it reminds me of similar, like the not the excitement of the home run race, but you do go check to see if the Sox lost.
Yeah,
Like
right?
you're on the you maybe you didn't watch the game, but you're like, did the Sox win? Did they
Did they
lose?
win? They lost again. They
They
lost
lost
another
again.
game.
Hey, so what? How many more is that now? Like there is kind of that countdown to
There
one.
is a national spotlight on them
Yeah, there is. It's
for
countdown to
all the
121.
wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons.
Not 121 wins, counting down to 121 losses.
The lowly White Sox is how ESPN just described them.
And then I would just like to be in a room with the Rhinestores. What are they saying?
What are you doing?
Like,
Like, what
honestly.
the hell? Like, are you still going to the game? Are you watching this?
And
Are you okay with this?
yeah, they can't be.
Like, why aren't you doing anything about it? Why are you just sitting there and letting this happen?
This would almost have to be this should feel so bad that next year you're getting ready to go try to buy a team. You should be willing to go out and buy some relevancy. Who are the top free agents out there? Let's buy at least 5 positions. Maybe you buy a
Jerry
pitcher and
Reinsdorf would never do
no,
that.
but that's how you should feel at this point because it's going to be so bad for so many years. You at least need to buy enough to be watchable.
He does not know what he's doing.
Yeah, he does. He knows what he's doing.
Is he trying to move the team?
Maybe.
Like in the movie Major League when they were like trying to lose so they
But
can move
nobody
the
wants to
team?
see him naked. So who you gonna
Yeah,
tear
right.
off?
Yeah, you were.
You can't tear off pieces of
His suit.
to get to the naked Jerry.
Ew. Ew. Or maybe they do have one and that's why they're losing so much.
Because everybody's sick.
Everybody's like, oh, don't take any more pieces off that.
Say White Sox attended 17. What's their average? What's their average attendance? I mean, it was great that Cubs here. That's not that. White Sox average attendance. Let's see. As of June 24th, they averaged 16,000 fans per home game. That's 27th in MLB in attendance.
I don't think there's on any given day 20 that many 16,000.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that many games. There's that many people in there. That might be tickets sold, tickets given away.
And you know what? For Be the Miracle donation, we're getting a Luis Roberts autograph photo. But I'm like, you all don't need somebody to come watch the game? You just don't want to give us any tickets? You think you need to give away some tickets?
You need to send Luis Robert Jr. himself.
Let's get some interest in this team.
Like, send the player, actually.
Well, I was just pleased it was him and it wasn't like Nikki
Andrew
Lopez.
Benintendi.
Yeah, or Nikki
Andrew
Lopez.
Vaughn or Gavin Sheets.
You're right. I was like, well, at least that's a name. He's terrible right now, but at least it's a name.
This about the biggest name they got.
We want to pivot to the Bears before we go?
Let us pivot to some Bears. I got caught up on Hard Knocks.
Chris
I'm getting there. What'd you say?
Chris told me he wasn't going to be sad. That was sad with Ian Wheeler.
Oh, that was sad.
Because I wasn't going to watch it because I thought it might be sad because since they're getting closer to cuts.
Yeah.
But that was sad because he was I think he had a chance to make the team.
He did, and now he's stuck going to be a doctor now, I guess.
Well,
unless he comes back, of course.
Yeah, he'll get a chance to make it next year.
Yeah.
But at least he does have something to fall back on.
Something to fall back on. But it was
sad.
Yeah.
And then they did bring what's his name back to the practice squad. I liked Austin Reed after he did his Keisha Cole character.
Well, they aren't without personality. I'll say that. And I wish they would have let them curse, but
that is so stupid. It's so
stupid. So Chicago team.
I always want to control some narrative that's fake.
Some bullshit. Just bullshit.
They're football players. It's sports. They're grown.
And it's HBO.
Right. And these are grown men and women. On this
what are you protecting? Your little millionaire great-grandchildren's ears?
Like the McCaskies never curse. That damn Virginia probably has a potty mouth.
Potty mouth.
We share the same birthday.
You and Virginia McCaskey?
I think we should have a party together next year. I'll be 50. I don't know how old she'll be. We should just party.
150. 50 and 150. Woo!
What a party.
That would be a hell of a party. I mean, I'm sure it'd be a spread. I mean, all your people, we'd have a great time.
I need to go. I need to find Virginia. Like,
on their dime. It would be great.
Right. Greatest 50th ever.
Yeah.
Paid for by the McCaskies.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And if I know the McCaskies out there listening, hook that up, please. And thank you. But yeah, they have good personality. I'm excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, the excitement is building. I'm getting geared up. I'm feeling it. I'm still caught in the misery of baseball season, in part because of this show.
Right. Oh my gosh, we had to do this to ourselves again come basketball season.
Oh my God. And they're gonna be terrible.
No, well, okay. Maybe they won't be as bad with Lonzo, Zach, and Vooch will still be, and Kobe White. I mean, they still have 4 capable players.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Williams is capable.
No, he's not.
Sorry,
and is he even going to be ready for the season?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go back to the Bears. Sorry.
All right. So I'm not somebody who's like thinks we should be spending time following Justin anymore, but it's just been officially named the number 2 quarterback.
Yes. But there's going to be packages for him. Tomlin said that whoever they're playing better be ready because that's just too much talent. So I think they're going to create packages.
Okay, so he'll be like what's his name down in
Yeah, what's the Taysom Hill or
Taysom
something?
Hill in New Orleans.
Yeah, so there will be some packages for him,
Okay.
and Russell Wilson's gonna be back soon.
Russell Wilson stinks.
Yeah, so he'll get his shot. I
Yeah, I
think
think they're gonna try to stretch out Wilson in enough starts to keep that draft pick from jumping up 2 rounds.
right.
They're gonna do their damnedest
Yeah.
to start Russell at least 8 games, I guess, or 9
Mhm.
games, or however,
Yeah.
you know. But I that probably
Mhm.
won't happen either. I don't know.
No,
We'll see.
especially because they don't have a good offensive line, so
Right.
Justin will
So
be in there soon.
that's gonna be rough. But go Bears. I'm looking forward to it. They
Defense.
seem like they have a very capable management team.
Mhm.
Um, they look good. They look good, and I'm hoping for the best. I'm ready for the season. I mean, there's never been, and that I can think of, a more like, the excitement building up for a Bear season like this one. Like, this is,
I think when Justin got drafted, there could have been more had there been a better offense around him.
yeah, like I didn't even feel it with Justin as much, because it was like there was still so many holes, and
Yeah.
it was still Ryan Pace and
Yeah.
still
Nagy.
Nagy. So
Yeah.
it was
And we
it was like
already,
they
yeah,
were supposed to be fired.
exactly. Yeah. That was another thing because it was like, oh Lord, they're getting ready to ruin another guy. But with Caleb Williams, it's the excitement because he's the number 1 pick. Plus, he has offensive weapons
A
right
lot of
away.
weapons, and we got a good defense.
Yeah, right. So it's a way better situation all around. So we're
Yeah,
excited about that. And regardless, of course, we finally want a good quarterback. But for Bears fans, if we have good defense, we're always excited anyway.
at least okay. Well, at least
Yeah,
we can like hold our
yeah,
head
right.
halfway high, if
Yeah.
long as our defense is playing well.
Because there's always the chance of winning, even if it's just mediocre offense. That defense can
Yeah,
always
we
get
went
us.
to the Super Bowl with
Yeah,
mediocre
right.
offense. Yeah,
So we know if we get that, that's still exciting. But
that
we
gives us a chance.
want chance.
Every
But there's
Sunday
also,
or
yeah,
Monday or whatever it is, we got a shot because of the defense.
yeah. So and I don't think this. Well, we hope this offense won't be mediocre. There are going to be times where it's bad, and no one has seen anything, and I don't want Caleb to ever think that it's slow and like someone needs to tell him learn from Justin because when he said it was slow, people teed off on him.
Yeah.
Like they just hit. People are still hitting him late. Like that's why there was a fight. And I think it was on the same team or whatever. The offensive line, like we're gonna protect him. I guess he was like,
Okay.
unlike the Bears, but
Right.
I think now they also have a great punter. The guy seems to be
The Aussie.
get the beer cold and pop some corn and watch. Oh,
Deb, I'm gonna be watching for sure. I'm a glutton for punishment. I've watched so many games this year. I gotta see this thing through. As bad as it is, and watch my wife and kids walk out the door while I'm watching the Sox
folks,
get their ass handed to them by your Mets.
every Sox loss, there's another piece of clothing put in that suitcase, huh?
Yeah.
slowly
Slowly
throwing
but
clothes in
surely,
that
packing
suitcase.
it up. Packing it up.
I guess speaking of packing it up,
It is that time. Better days lie ahead, Kristen. I'm going to think positive. By better days, I mean football season. Better days lie ahead. Not with baseball, but with football, I hope.
okay.
Let's just, trying to be
It
positive
better
here.
be. It can't be worse. Well, it could.
Well, it won't be worse than last year.
It better not be.
Better not be. We better not lose the first 4 games of the year the way we did last
Who
year.
did they play first? Texans?
Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Or
Tennessee.
is it Tennessee or Titans? The Titans or
Titans,
Houston?
Tennessee.
Okay, yeah. Who's their quarterback now?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name? Something Levis. Levis something. You know what? Let me look it up. Clearly, my guessing is not working.
Will Levis.
That's what. Yes,
Levis. You got it right. You had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played the Bears on the 8th at 12 p.m.
All right.
This is the last Sunday without the NFL.
That's right.
Wow. This year's flying by.
It is. It's flying by. We're getting into one of our favorite times of year.
I was telling somebody, like, it's almost time for Fright Fest.
It's almost time.
AMC.
Almost time.
The same Halloween movies.
Yep. I'm not interested in any new unless there's a new Halloween. I still will watch that.
Yeah, I will still watch the new Halloweens, but I don't need the new stuff. I'm gonna watch all the classics.
All the classics. It's coming. All right. Well, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in and hanging in there with us. Sox fans, better days are ahead because this season is going to end. And we'll be put out of our misery soon enough. Better days ahead. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Now, where's that? Here it is.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.